Are you addicted to chaos? Let's talk about how to rewire your brain for peace. So have you ever found yourself, I don't know, working late at night or sipping your third cup of coffee by 10 p.m., right? Not good. You're knee deep in the last minute project of the day and thinking, why do I do this to myself? If so, you might be addicted to chaos. Yes, really, it's a thing. So let me tell you about my friend Lisa. Lisa thrives under pressure, or so she says. Her calendar looks like a game of Tetris. Her inbox, a digital war zone. She somehow forgets about deadlines until they're breathing down her neck. And she jokes that she's at her best when the world is on fire. But here's the kicker. Lisa also constantly dreams of peace. Interesting, right? She dreams of slow mornings, of yoga, or sipping an herbal tea while journaling. Spoiler alert, she's never even touched that journal that I bought her back in 2019. So, does this sound familiar? Are you a Lisa? Let's talk about the brain on chaos. Let's get a little nerdy for a second. So when we experience stress, especially the kind that we create through maybe procrastination or overcommitment, our brain gets a dopamine hit. Yep, that same chemical that we associate with pleasure, reward, and social media addiction. Sounds interesting and strange at the same time, right? But according to a study from the National Institute on Drug Abuse, dopamine, it reinforces behavior that leads to rewards. So this means that the brain literally learns to crave adrenaline rush lifestyles. So you see all the people that are always talking about crushing it, right? Or they're working crazy hours, never sleeping. They've become addicts of the way they feel when they're in that environment. So chaos becomes a comfort zone. And we say that we want peace, but peace feels a little boring to people that fall in this category, right? So if you're that person that's always grinding, always going, never sleeping, we'll sleep when we're dead type of person, do you feel that way? Do you feel like things are boring if you had peace? So why do we choose to be crazy sometimes, or this craziness and this grind? Let's go back to Lisa. Her brain's been trained to expect stimulation from the stress in her life. So deadline drama and disorganization provides a sense of urgency that mimics meaning to her. She equates productivity with pressure. But here's the truth. Just because you function in chaos doesn't mean you thrive in it. In fact, research from the American Psychological Association shows that chronic stress impairs memory. It also lowers immune function and increases the risk of anxiety, depression, and those types of symptoms. Yikes, not something that I want to sign up for, right? And the kicker here is studies have shown that people who actively cultivate peace, think meditation, think mindfulness, and think structured routines, they not only reduce their stress, but they increase gray matter right here in the brain. And that is the area responsible for emotional regulation and for focus. So I'll take all of the gray matter that I can get, right? I'm sure you agree. So how can you rewire your brain for peace without falling asleep and being totally bored? If you spent years equating calm with lazy, your brain's going to need a total reboot. But don't worry, you don't have to give up your ambition. You just have to switch the fuel. So here's how. First of all, you want to make micro moves towards calm. So nothing drastic. Start with 5 minutes, seriously. 5 minutes of intentional stillness, breathing, stretching, sitting in silence. The goal isn't perfection. It's becoming familiar with the environment that you want to be in, or you say you want to be in. A second tip is reframe stillness as strength. So stillness is not passivity. It's power. It's control. It's the opposite of chaos. So Olympic athletes meditate. Navy SEALs practice breath work. You're not doing nothing. You're just sharpening the blade. So look at it as stillness is part of being busy. A third tip is let's replace the chaos with challenge. So your brain loves stimulation. That's why you're in this situation, right? So give it to the right kind of stimulation. Try a new skill. Build a morning ritual. Gamify your goals. Keep the brain buzzing, not burning. So that's the key. That's the real key here. A fourth tip is let's design some systems, not crutches. So peace is not the absence of noise. It's the presence of a system. Use planners, task apps, or maybe paper calendars. I know that sounds crazy, but structure frees you. It doesn't cage you. So if you need any help with structure, need any help with systems, please let me know. It's something that I specialize and I focus on. I'll leave a link to my website as well if you're interested and can help you if you need it. So let's talk about the calm life. Not boring, just better. So a chaotic life can feel exciting, but it's often a mask for overwhelm, avoidance, and burnout in disguise. So Lisa, or maybe it's you, Lisa is certainly slowly trading her stress for a peace pact. So she's taking those 5 minutes a few times a day to try to find her inner peace. And she still really works hard. She's a really hard worker and she's driven, but she doesn't chase the drama anymore. And guess what? She actually opened that journal that I bought her, 5-6 years ago. So if you've been living like a productivity firefighter, I've been there. I know how you feel. When you're constantly responding to the flames, you secretly set yourself up, and maybe it's time to ask yourself, how can I find some inner peace, some quiet, and some calm, rather than always being on? Also take a look at what would your life look like if peace was the plan and peace was the reward. So you don't need chaos to feel alive. You just need clarity. You need intention and maybe a little help rewiring your brain. So let peace be your new addiction. Trust me, it's a much better high. And I promise one thing, you will still get everything done and accomplished that you did when your life was on fire. So if you found this content valuable, please consider sharing, please consider subscribing. Thank you for joining me here today, and we'll see you on the next video.